was born some 58 years back, some 500 kilometers away from Addis Ababa of Mfine, in the western part of Oromia, in a small village known as Henna. It's between small towns like Nejo and Bila. And I had my first elementary education in Boji Drumeji Secondary School, and my senior secondary school at Gimbi Secondary School, and of course my tertiary education at Addis Ababa University.
And then you went to job. And where did you start your first job as a government employee?
Well, I started as a government employee some 40 years back, as young as the age of 17 years and approximately 10 months or so. It was long ago, I know. I first received my training as a health assistant, and then after my graduation, after I received my diploma, I worked at Yirgachefe Health Center for about 2 years, and then came back and joined secondary education again. And that is what I consider as my first job. In fact, as a teacher, I started working at Terkampi Waraksa Junior Secondary School in Hawagalan, which is now in Kelamulaga. And then I worked in several places, and finally, after having my second degree, I worked as a lecturer at Adama TTC, Adama Teachers Training College.
Which was closed.
Yeah, which is now closed, and then, in fact, I was dismissed from Adama TTC.
Some 18 instructors were dismissed.
Before it was closed. Yeah, about 19 of us were dismissed. 1997 Ethiopian calendar, that is 2005.
Sure.
In connection with student uprising that was instigated by the moving of the headquarters of Oromia Regional State from Addis Ababa to Adama. Yeah.
And then
after that, I served about 2 years in private colleges, in 2 different colleges, and later I joined Addis Ababa University as a lecturer, and until my detention in 2011, I was working there. After my release, I joined Addis Ababa University once again, and then I went to prison once again, and then now I am reinstated, and I'm working at Addis Ababa University currently.
Oh, that's a good thing. Yeah. We're going to talk about that in depth. Do you have kids?
Yeah. I have a daughter and 3 sons. Oh. So I have 4 of them.
And what are they doing now?
Yeah, 2 have graduated from university now, and 2 are university students, both studying engineering at the moment.
Engineering, and the field which is different from yours is a way.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
How have you joined politics? I mean, man is a political animal, we know. But how, what caused, what geared you to that joining political party?
Yeah, in the place where I was born, there is a tradition that when everyone grows up as a student, students are regarded as assets of their community, and therefore every community member has hand in the raising of students mainly. When they go to colleges and universities, usually any community member takes the responsibility of sending these students or supporting them at school, and therefore there was that tradition, and at the back of that tradition is there is also responsibility that is connected to it from those who graduate, because it is assumed that when they graduate, they will speak on behalf of the community, on behalf of their people, and therefore they think that they have someone somewhere that they think when their rights are violated, there are some people who would speak against that, and therefore they are considered as the defenders of the rights of their community. Community in the sense that not only that particular community, but the Oromo community or the Oromo nation in general. I'm not referring to one specific Kabale or
not talking about the locality.
Yeah. So following that, I had to shoulder that responsibility that people expect from me, because I was raised by the joint effort of my community. Everyone has hand in my education, and everybody has contributed, I can say. So I felt that responsibility. When the rights of the people are being violated in front of my eyes, I was not able to tolerate that, and therefore I had to speak against that, and I did for a while independently, but that was not enough. So I decided to join a political party that strives to protect the rights of the people, and therefore I joined the party I'm in now. That is how I joined, because it is mainly because of the violations of the rights of my people that I was not able to tolerate, and I decided to do something about that, just to contribute, just to throw my little stones.
Your approach is a little bit different. That's why I talked about that idea. Bekele Gerba is an Oromo Mahatma Gandhi. That's what I always say with friends. Bekele Gerba is Dr. Martin Luther King of the Oromo. Because you believe in passive resistance. You believe in non-violent method of struggle. What brought you to that track?
Yeah, perfectly, you're right. One, there are a lot of factors that kept me within the sphere of non-violent struggle. One is the way I was brought up. My psychological upbringing was one of the main determinant factors for me to become a non-violent resistor. And second is also the religion I pursue. I am, in fact, every religion I know does help or really command that non-violence is the main principle. But I say the scripture I was reading, and all the sermons I was following might have helped me to be a non-violent resistor, and at the same time, just from so many principles point of view, like for example, non-violent resistance is a kind of non-violent struggle in which everybody can participate. If you take an armed struggle, it is only those who have the power, who have the courage, and who are young enough to participate in it. But in non-violent resistance, in that kind of a struggle, I think everybody can take part. The old can take part, and the young can take part, women can take part, and men can do that. Everybody can be on his place and his job, and then he can go ahead with it, fight for his right, and all these things. And at the same time, I think that it is pro-poor at the same time. Pro-poor, meaning if you take armed struggle on both sides, whether it is any kind of government or the government side, it is the sons and the daughters of the poor who go to war, who are employed as members of the army. And if you take also the combatants on the side of armed struggle, always they are the children of the poor. So on both sides, it is the poor that will die, that will sacrifice one's life. So I was, from moral point of view, I would say that it is not pro-poor. But nonviolent resistance is a pro-poor. It is, you know, life is, it does not as such need to risk one's life. Maybe, to some extent, yes it is, but the cost of life in nonviolent resistance is very, very minute, very small. So it is pro-poor, it is economical at the same time. You don't have to waste too much time, too much money, too much life, too much resources. Therefore, it is something that we can carry out with least expense, less expense, in terms of human life plus in terms of resources. So because of moral grounds, religious grounds, economic grounds, and for various principles, I think the best way to that oppressed people have their, the best way that oppressed people can fight for their right is in a very non-violent way. So there is no bitterness, for example, after some transformation of the, or after non-violent resistance, there is no bitterness. In an armed struggle, there is a winner and there is a loser, and the loser is always disgraced, and the winner is always enjoys the respect. There is a respect and there is disrespect, and there is a winner and there is a loser. There is someone who has defeated, and there is someone who, some group who is defeated. Therefore, there is one side that has some kind of bitterness, but in a non-violent struggle, in a non-violent methodology, I don't think that there is that kind of bitterness after that conflict is over. That after the resolution, you know, in war, it will be resolved by power, and in non-violent struggle it is resolved otherwise. Therefore, there is no bitterness, there is no enemy, there is no, therefore I think for various reasons, said so much lessons from Mahatma Gandhi, plus I'm a very big fan of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and I have translated his books. One is already printed, and I am getting it printed in another language, in Amharic.
I was about to ask you that. Yep. Anyway, all right.
So that's it.
That's cool. Anyway, this wonderful philosophy was interrupted, and you were sent to jail for 5 years and 7 months, and so.
Yeah, it is.
What do you think that caused them that?
I think, yeah,
you only preached the passive resistance, peaceful way of struggle, but that led you to Kilinto and Kaliti areas.
I know. They know for sure that I have never fired a bullet in my life.